What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. This week we're going to cover my market analysis of where I think the market is at currently with commodities, forex, one crypto pair and the NASDAQ. I'll be sharing my insights as to where I think the market will be going ahead next in the next week's forecast, and we'll be able to provide an update of what the kind of conditions are and assess whether the market will present any opportunities for the upcoming week. As we know, on Monday there is a USA president holiday, so there'll be no New York session on Monday. We're going to go and dive into gold on the weekly time frame, and this will provide us a bit of an insight as to where it is currently. So on the weekly time frame, gold is continuing to push up. We've had the high rejection of 5,600 as a local level of resistance, and dropping down to the daily time frame, you can see I've got a few expansion levels which price had basically met essentially. Moving down to the daily time frame, you can see price rejected off of this heavy selling pressure and initially then got bought back up and is now grinding up. Dropping down to the 4 hourly time frame, I've got one local Fibonacci support retracement, and currently I'd say the 0.382 on the 4 hourly is providing some level of support, even though we dipped into it. You clearly see that price has made a lower low, a lower high, higher low, a new higher high, another higher low, and then potentially a new high. Depending on where price is going to go next. We could either reject off of this F5 retracement, which is a 618 retracement from where the selling pressure was, or either we push past it and break past it. Essentially, either we see a break above here and we shoot up and we continue, or we get a rejection down here and we sell off. So sell off in that direction. There we go. So yeah, that's what I see happening with gold. Dropping down to the hourly time frame, which is the time frame that I do trade on. I did enter a position, a live position, thinking that the market was going to push up from this extent. Unfortunately, we got closed out on this position, and of course at the time my entry wasn't valid, and at the time of when I entered this position I wasn't in the mental frame, you could say, because I wasn't purely focused on where the market was going in terms of the direction. This gap produced, when I opened the charts on TradingView, there was a technical problem that TradingView had came up with, and at the time I was a bit skeptical, but I decided to enter anyway because of the risk. But yeah, essentially we got closed out there. So towards the end of the week we closed bearish, and the inflation rate figures I believe remain the same. So at the moment, I think for gold, it's just a waiting game till we either see this local level get attacked, which will be an area of liquidity where price will be tapping into, or either we tap back into some sort of level of support within a 618, or maybe these local levels down here. So that's my analysis on gold. On the weekly time frame for silver, we met the XOP expansion on the weekly. We've had a heavy rejection off of that level, and similar kind of price action to what gold has been doing. A 47% move to the downside. Price is currently in a bearish trend. Having said that, on the daily time frame, dropping down to the 4 hourly time frame, you've got that 0.382, which was nailed on the pin there as resistance. So you could have set a limit order within that region, and you would have been perfectly fine to continue selling. This is the importance of using F5 and F3 retracements, because you can enter a position within that region, have your risk profile anywhere between 1 to 2, and this is your risk to reward. Your reward is huge. I mean, you could have captured easily this move, but I personally didn't see this because I was trading silver last week. But yeah, like I said, people, plenty of opportunities. You just got to take the action to do it. So dropping down to the hourly time frame, we know that silver is in a downtrend, so we'll be looking for shorts next week. Moving forward, we will move over to silver, EURUSD. You can also see this lower structure on silver actually. This local level here, definitely an area of interest if price breaks it. Kind of like how it did here, but obviously that was a heavy move and I didn't want to enter on that position because of the way price reacted. Moving over to EURUSD, let me see if I can get a cleaner chart on EURUSD. So on the weekly time frame, EURUSD is somewhat in an uptrend. Moving down to the daily time frame, seems to be consolidating, and we've got this local higher low that price has made, and if you do a retracement support, you can see that price taps into a 0.382 and F3, but has kind of technically failed to hold, so potentially a rejection further lower could be possible. Not sure if that will be the protocol. However, I'll be looking to see if we can maybe take some shots on this. And typically when an OP, COP level and an F5 retracement support level holds, you typically get a strong bounce. But again, we need to wait for further price action confirmation. So again, I'll be looking to see from a market structure perspective if price continues to sell down with this selling pressure that's already been involved in the 4 hourly time frame. Though that the daily is consolidating but the weekly is up, we just need to keep an eye on these levels and see where price will go next. And Bitcoin at the moment, I would say, yeah, Bitcoin is in a bearish trend. You can see the weekly breaker structure we've had, so clearly in a downtrend. Price has hit a OP level of support and bounced since on the daily time frame, so this continuation of sellers could, morbidly continue. We could see the lows of even 40k being hit, so we need to be very careful of where Bitcoin will go next. Either we see some sort of reversal back in, or we tap back into this OP level, OP level, which would be 62, and maybe we see a retest of it. Typically with Bitcoin, you get to see retests of lower levels anyway, so we'll see what happens with that. But overall trend is obviously down, and be looking to see if we can catch any short positions. I am in a longer term hold on Bitcoin. Hopefully it will intend to go up in the future, but I don't keep a huge stake in it at the moment. Finally, on the NASDAQ, on the weekly time frame, you can see price has consolidated recently, but has been trending up. Price structure is kind of flat. It's been consolidating for, you could say, October. It only started trending since this period, and since then it's just been in this range on the daily time frame. Going on down to the 4 hourly time frame, you can see price making higher highs, lower highs, new lower low, breaker structure, retest of this breaker structure. And I'd say the key thing to look at is on the higher time frame, on the 4 hourly. How is price respecting? It's respecting the F5 zone at the moment, meaning sellers are technically in control. So I would say if the selling pressure continues, we could get some sell opportunities with the NASDAQ towards next week. If we break this low and we break this lower low, then we got some selling opportunities to get ourselves involved into. So yeah, overall the bias is that we wait on commodity pairs. Silver may go lower, EURUSD looking for sells, NASDAQ looking for sells, and Bitcoin also sells. So overall, yeah, it's just a waiting game. Need to identify areas of interest before we actually take an execution, and follow the trade system and rules that I've put in place to be integral and to ultimately have the right outcome and procedure as a professional trader. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the insight. I hope you guys have a great trading week and make it consistent and stick to your rules. And yeah, peace out guys, have a good one.